Sir, in recent incident in Galwan Valley area, which has taken our nation by surprise, our 20 brave Jawans have been killed by the Chinese soldiers. What are your thoughts on it, sir? Your understanding of the issue?
Two aspects. There has been a lot of debate on what actually happened.
Okay.
There are multiple versions which are moving around on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there is an odd version which was issued by the Center for Joint Warfare Studies,
Okay.
which is what I would assume to be correct because that is a think tank which is run by the army.
Mm-hmm.
That what they stated was initially a patrol was sent. Basically, what happens is the Galwan Valley commences with the beginning of the Galwan River, which is in Aksai Chin. That is
Okay.
why you've been hearing at times that the Chinese are planning to stop the flow of water into the Galwan River.
Yes.
So the valley commences from there.
Okay.
Now, when it comes down, there is a point where the Galwan River joins the Shok River,
Mm-hmm.
which across which is where we have what is called PP14 or patrolling point 14.
Yes.
Now, the Chinese used to travel a long distance to come down to PP14. We used to travel to PP. That was a place where both sides considered that to be uh, the point where the two patrols would be landing up. And at times there have been incidents of the two patrols meeting together and holding fire.
Okay.
Now, the Chinese, when they realized that our road was coming up, they also built a road coming towards PP14, but their road is way short still, about 5-6 kilometers short.
Okay.
Now, when they come up to PP14, from there the observation onto our road is far better.
Mm.
So they decided to construct a tent there, which
Yeah.
is what we objected because that is the line where we presume to be our patrolling point and where we presume to be the LAC.
Okay.
Now, the talks that took place on the 6th possibly indicated that that tent was to be dismantled.
Yes.
So, a team was sent from the unit under an officer, which was held up there by the Chinese.
Okay.
The CO then decided to take a patrol and move forward.
Mm.
Now, that is when he took the patrol and moved forward, somewhere within the discussions, there were fisticuffs, and that is how the initial fight started.
Okay.
The counter was that the Indian soldiers who saw what was happening immediately acted and rushed there.
Okay.
So there were casualties on both sides. There are lots of claims of far higher casualties from the Chinese. Even if you look at the basic claims, it is there.
Mm.
The fact is that the tent, everything vanished. Both sides moved back, and PP14 has now come what is to be ours.
Yeah.
Now, when people talk of the Galwan Valley, you mistake the fact that the Galwan Valley is from where the river commences.
Okay.
This is only PP14, which is just across the Galwan River, and it is not. And you cannot say that the entire Galwan Valley belongs to an individual or belongs to a particular country.
Okay.
This
That is
is a
shared
small
by
part of
India and Pakistan. I mean, in India
India and
and
China.
yeah, yeah.
Right. Basically, we are towards the end where the river starts moving towards joining the Shok River.
Okay.
So this is where the issue is. Now, the question was what happened, how did it take off? Those are issues that will keep coming up. The
Mm.
fact that you lost 20 soldiers, you've actually created a scenario as to now you're going to look forward as to what to do next.
Okay.
Okay, how are you going to change the rules of the game? How are you going to hold on?
Okay, sir.
If we
So
have to
yeah. Please, sir,
if
go
you
ahead.
have to understand as to why the things are happening now and why in the current environment,
Mm.
you've got to look at the timings. Now, May to about October, November is the patrolling season.
Yeah.
So China began its actions in the beginning of May, just when the patrolling season began.
Okay.
And they visualize that they have a long period in which to push through their agenda, whatever they wanted.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the background, it's not only with India, simultaneously China is engaged with the ASEAN nations,
Yeah.
South China Sea.
Yes.
It's launched economic actions against Australia, wolf warrior diplomacy in Europe, a looming trade war with the US, tensions with Taiwan. So it's actually involved in all directions.
Okay, sir. So, what is wrong with Chinese escalation at the LOC? Why they are doing it now?
That's okay. Now the reason could be many. I mean, you find so many conjectures, but then there is something very interesting which we need to actually look into before we come to a final conclusion. The first is all escalation at the LAC is being played out by the Chinese Global Times English medium,
Yeah.
which is not for the local Chinese public.
Yes, obviously. Yeah.
It is only for the international environment, and basically it is to add pressure on India. Now, within China, there is almost no mention of the incident which happened in Galwan. Possibly on page 16 of the local Global Times there was a mention.
Yes, sir.
There is no mention of the LAC scenario which is occurring between India and China.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is China keeping it out of local? The reason is there is pressure on the CCP, within the CCP on Xi Jinping,
Okay.
which is why pressures are being built all over. Now the Chinese were also not certain as to how it would play off. Another question, another aspect which comes straight into this.
Okay.
On 6th of June, on the 5th of June, one day before the two lieutenant generals were to meet,
Okay.
Xi Jinping changed the Western Theatre commander and moved Zhu Qilang or whatever his name is
Okay.
as the new theatre commander in the region.
Yeah.
Now he is a rising star in the PLA. If you read the articles, if you read the appointment of his in the South China Post, which is issued from Hong Kong, you would realize he's a rising star, and this is a major test which would make or break his career.
Okay.
And he is one of Xi Jinping's favorites. So basically, in case things go wrong here,
Okay.
two heads would roll.
Okay, sir. Do you think?
Zhu Qilang and Xi Jinping both are going to be in trouble.
Okay, sir. Do you think China is looking at India as an easy target to further their political ambitions in the CPP?
I wouldn't say an easy target. What China was looking at was, in this time of a pandemic, India would immediately approach China through political dialogue,
Yeah.
which would enable China to push its demands through.
Uh-huh.
Now, India played it very well. It refused to immediately engage at the political level and decided to engage at
Military
the
level.
army level talks and the diplomatic level talks in the background.
Yes.
Now, this was the first setback which China faced. Now, the question is, India is also aware, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Indian government or the Indian armed forces would have done a detailed analysis. After all, what reports you're getting are temporary posts.
Okay.
Can you hold temporary posts without proper means of communication in stark winters?
Okay.
Okay, so they are hoping to get something out before the winter sets in.
Okay.
Now the question is, who is going to bend first?
Okay. Who's
India
going
has
first?
still not gone in for any diplomatic level talks. It was the Chinese foreign minister who called Jaishankar, and that is how the discussion took place.
Yes.
So we are still looking at resolving it on the local issue.
Okay.
Raising the level would possibly come with time.
Okay.
Now, are you looking at a localized operation? Appears to be doubtful,
Yeah.
because neither side can afford it, neither side wants it.
Okay.
But at the same time, neither side will accept a stand down without something coming through.
Okay.
That is where ultimately it will have to be a political dialogue. In some way, this is now moving on when the RIC would be involved, Russia, India, China,
Okay.
and there are talks of Russia coming in between.
Yeah.
Because somewhere or the other, at political level, you've got to come down to a point where there is face saving on all sides.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Yesterday, our Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that there was no intrusion by the Chinese into our side of LSE. So, how do you think about this kind of statement from our Prime Minister? Is it right or missing something?
All right. Let
Because
me
this
say
is a
one thing.
question every people for social media is asking.
Okay,
If,
I've tried to explain that on social media also, but then it's too long for you to feed into the 250 characters of Twitter.
yes.
Okay, so let me try and put that across to you in the two major places where the situation is. Let's take the finger area.
Mhm.
We have our base around a bit around finger 1 2 around
This
that
finger area
area.
means Pangong So Lake. Yeah,
Correct.
stores. Yeah.
And we patrol up to finger 8.
Yeah.
Chinese had a base behind finger 8 and they used to patrol up to finger 1. Right?
Yeah.
So we used to patrol to 8, they used to patrol to 1. Today they've come down to 4 and we have clumped there. Now when both of us are sitting there, neither can they come to 1 nor can we go to 8.
Okay.
So where have you lost or where have you gained? Nothing on both sides.
Okay.
Because, okay, it is not loss of territory, not loss of post.
Okay.
Only thing that you've done is you blocked patrolling. Both sides have blocked the other's patrolling.
Okay.
Now on Galwan, I explained to you what is the
Yeah. Yeah.
situation at 14. So basically, what the PM said was a very carefully, clearly worded
Technical words.
statement,
Yeah.
and it was to keep it at a level where you do not escalate it to a level where you can't finally end the stalemate.
Okay.
Okay, now you've twisted it to say that he's come in so much.
Yeah.
You've done nothing. You've just come there and you've plonked. You're preventing us from going up to our claim line. We are preventing you from going up to your claim line. You're both sitting there. What have you finally done? Now, second thing you've got to realize, his camps are temporary.
Okay.
How long are you going to sit in temporary camps? You've got to remember that the Chinese base, of course, they have a base way behind,
Sirajpur.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But the main bases are far, far behind. How much, what force levels are you going to maintain where and throughout? In our case, our bases are well established. There's nothing new about it. They've been existing for a long time and they are being maintained all through without any problems. In fact, the ITBP base, which is at the finger point,
Yeah.
yeah, is now going to be upgraded
Okay.
and is going to come into an all-weather post.
Okay.
So whether it's winter, summers, nobody is going to budge out from there.
Okay, sir. Just for our viewers' clarification, what is the real status quo in Pangong So Lake, sir? Especially from finger 5 to finger 8. Do India climb
told you.
till finger 8 area?
I told you, we used to. Now, with them sitting there, they are not letting you go to finger 8. They used to come to finger 1. We're not letting them come to finger 1.
Okay. So it's not an
So we
escalation,
both-
sir?
Nothing. So you're both stuck at finger 4 and that's it. What we are looking at is what you were in April. Let's go back to that position where you go behind finger 8 and we go to where our original area was. You patrol to finger 1, we patrol to finger 8 and that's it. And it remains the way it is, the way it was.
Okay, sir. Sir, and do you feel China successfully pinned India to the issue of LAC, but not the actual issue of Aksai Chin?
See, Aksai Chin, no matter what you say, it's not going to be something which you can take back militarily.
Okay.
One, you need a very major force level and you need very far developed infrastructure. Okay, it is something which may possibly come through with passage of time in some form of agreement or the other.
Okay.
It is not an easy thing to take back. That's the first. Second, for China, possibly, while we talk about other objectives, one of the minor objectives, because China doesn't see India as a military threat. India has never claimed Chinese territory, and they don't visualize us looking at going in, because for us, it is more of our development and securing our own borders. So, though there is a talk that possibly the Chinese action is to ensure security to the Karakoram highway, but that would be a minor aspect as far as the entire Chinese game plan is concerned.
Okay.
Of course, there is also another mention that you see, with Ladakh having become a union territory and India-China having border disputes in the Ladakh region,
Yeah.
so automatically the good old J&K, China also becomes a part of the good J&K dispute,
Yes.
which otherwise involved India-Pakistan.
Yes, sir. Okay. So, there has been this question why China was allowed to build the road till Finger 4 area before. That is in 1999 during the Kargil war. So why India was not able to dismantle that road built by China, sir, in that Finger
I think that
till
I
Finger 4?
think I think that time the emphasis of ours was on Kargil,
Yeah.
and we were not very concentrated on this because we never expected things to come up to the level that they have now. I guess that was a misjudgment at some level, but then you had moved in all your forces, and Kargil required a very major chunk of forces. And you have to also recollect that prior to Kargil, you had one division that was 3 Div, which was responsible for the entire region of the LAC
Yeah.
and the area all the way to Kargil.
Okay.
Now, post that, you carried out a reorganization. You raised 14 Corps, which is now responsible.
Yeah.
You've got a separate division looking after Kargil sector, and you've got 3 division which has now been reorganized to look after Siachen and the LAC. Okay, which is there available anywhere on record.
Okay.
So, we changed the scenario post Kargil.
Okay.
Pre-Kargil, we were not into that so much, and because of Kargil time, it took us almost about 2-3 months, which is where we possibly lost out.
Okay, sir. What do you think about these claims made by some section of this media, like 10,000 troops were inside LAC, and also the claims made by Congress Party that China has claimed our Indian territory in LAC. On what basis they are talking about these kind of stories? Do you have any ideas, sir?
So I look politically, I don't want to get into the two parties and whatever their perceptions are. That is a different part. The fact is, and if we have to look realistically, how many can you get in, how many can you sustain? You have to remember that as many troops as you are inside, you've got to house them, you've got to feed them, you've got to get the stockings required for them, the stores that are needed. You've got to realize that every time when you enhance figures, that much more is your administrative tail and your administrative requirement.
Okay, but we can see
Okay, so
reporters like Ajay Shukla is climbing like 5,000 troops per day, and next day he climbed like 10,000 troops into the Indian area. So how it is possible these people are climbing?
see, you can claim any figure. The question is, you have to back with a lot of logic.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that for us, even when we move in our forces, every lot that you move in,
Logistic
you have to
matters.
have that much of logistic requirements. You've got to realize that this is also the season for both sides to do a lot of winter stocking to carry on to maintain your forces throughout the winter months. Okay, so the road space for both countries is restricted. Maintaining force levels are restricted.
Okay.
Now with all this, how much can you maintain realistically? One has to actually analyze it from the military point of view. I mean, anyone can make claims. I can always say that we have 1 lakh troops deployed in along the basic.
Yeah, we can do
But
that.
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because every individual that you move in, you've got to give him his requirements. You've got to feed him. You've got to cater for his needs. It's not easy, including his tentage. After all, in this area, you've got to keep him warm. So you need to cater for something there, whether it's Bukharis, whether it's whatever you want to do. So all that requires movement of equipment, movement of stores, movement of expendables.
Yes.
It's not easy to do that. So every individual that you move in, every store that you move in a collection of guns, you've got to move in ammunition.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, you need vehicles. You move in tanks, you've got to move in ammunition, you've got to move in fuel.
Yes.
Okay, so everything that you move in, you've got to have its additional requirements. Can you meet those requirements? Can you sustain those requirements for a prolonged period?
Yes. Okay, sir. Sir, today evening, I think so, General VK Singh said that 40 Chinese troops have lost their life in Galwan Valley face-off with India. So why don't they provide an official statement from Indian government, sir?
See, as of now, unless you have confirmed figures, it's incorrect. The Indian
Anyway, China
government
not
is
going
quoted.
to tell their real figures anyway.
You have to realize that Chinese have not even said what happened
What
in
happened?
Galwan.
Obviously.
Now, now, if they haven't said what happened, how would they give the figures? And you've got to realize that we are being carried away to a large extent because the Global Times is happily projecting everything there. The
Yes.
Chinese spokesperson is projecting everything there.
Yes.
And Indians on social media are jumping all over the countryside. It has become a debate. In China, in fact, I came across an English Chinese channel
That is CNN,
which
I think
states,
so. CN something.
no,
Yeah.
it was Saya, which spoke of war.
Okay.
Within China, there is no mention on networks, there is no mention in media on this. Why?
They don't want
If it had
people
been,
to listen. Yeah.
no,
Nobody.
that means, you see, otherwise what would happen? There would be an anti-India sentiment and a whole lot of issues would come up which would give the CCP a boost.
Yes. Yes.
But I guess they've got something far more, because had they been looking at something major, they would have done that. Now, figures which are coming in, the Indian government has said there have been enough casualties. You're getting a figure from VK Singh, you've got a figure which was earlier of 43, you've got some other figure, 65 and many more injured. You've got a lot of figures, and the US has quoted 35 dead, which is from their intelligence
something has
network,
happened.
which is monitoring the Chinese communication lines.
Okay.
Okay, so that is there. Then there's also been another input of part of the ledge also having collapsed, and that leading to additional Chinese casualties. So one is not very certain, but definitely there is no doubt that they've also admitted they've had casualties. And even the 62 or the 67 casualties that happened, the 67 casualties China has still not declared. 62 casualties came out far later than when after what happened. So that is their nature. I mean, China and Pakistan follow the same policy.
Yeah.
Why declare casualties? So that is there. India is a democracy
We have.
where
Yeah.
you cannot hide even a single casualty.
Absolutely, sir. Okay, sir. So, given the situation, is China rattled by Indian defense build up at the LAC? Are they rattled by our?
What I would put it across is possibly the way India reacted, and the way 16 Bihar and the troops that were deployed along the LAC, it was more than 16 Bihar, there were other units, part of other units also who went in. The sort of ferocity and the anger that they displayed
Yeah.
was possibly evidence to China that that their plans that they thought are not going to materialize the way they expected to.
Okay.
Okay, so it is not going to be a cakewalk. You cannot escalate it across the entire Indo-China front. You cannot afford to create a scenario where the world starts coming in.
Okay.
So now they would have to also rethink their options while we do ours.
Okay. Okay, sir. The last question I want to ask you about Pakistan. Why is Pakistan very quiet in this scenario? This is very unusual to see Pakistan being quiet and their ministers being quiet on this LAC issue with China. So, what is going on in Pakistan's mind right now?
There are 2-3 facts which are there. One, that there have been two very major sort of, I would say, events, if you want to call it. One was the 3 service chiefs, which never really happens, going together to the ISI headquarters to get a briefing
Okay.
on the complete scenario. They called it internal, external.
Yeah.
But to a large extent would have
Just
been a
about
discussion
LAC. Yeah.
on how to exploit the LAC situation. Immediately after that was the Corps Commanders Conference, where again exploiting the current India-China LAC scenario would have been discussed.
Okay.
You do find tweets coming in from Qureshi and Imran
Yeah.
talking of India having created an adverse environment not only with
China
but also with Nepal and Pakistan.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically they are hoping that if things keep moving downhill, they would be able to either exploit gaps in the LOC to push in which they've not been able to succeed, and do something spectacular in the valley, knowing that India may not be able to strike back like it did at Balakot. But what Pak fails to realize is you don't strike back immediately. You strike back at a time and place of your choosing.
Yeah.
And you strike back the way you want.
Okay.
So those are aspects which possibly they would exploit. They may maximum look to grab an outpost from where they could assist in infiltration, but that is not going to be an easy task.
Okay, sir. But I just want to add another simple question. So, what is our game plan for India moving forward with the Chinese? Are we going to see any surgical strike or any other action by our Indian forces on China?
No. I mean, those surgical strikes and all what you're looking at were done with terrorist camps. These are not terrorist camps. These are regular army.
Okay.
And with regular army, you would not do a strike. Hopefully, you would look. India has always looked to resolve issues by dialogue. In Pakistan, the dialogue continued, or the attempt at dialogue continued till the Pak ISI was invited to Pathankot to also get details and then try and resolve or go after the perpetrators in Pakistan.
Yeah.
That was the last attempt at dialogue. When that failed, India realized it's not going to work. With China, channels are still open.
Okay.
There's communication going on at all levels.
Okay.
And I don't think either side wants it to escalate beyond a level that you can't pull back.
Okay.
The only thing which both sides have to ensure that you cannot have another Galwan incident, because then halting escalation may become very difficult.
Okay, sir. What is your message to China, if you have to say any message to China at this moment of time?
The only message is India will stand its ground. The Indian armed forces know their responsibility. They're capable. In fact, and I would also like to quote, possibly to you as well as the Chinese,
Yes.
that there was an article in Soho.com, which is a Chinese government website,
Okay.
which made a mention that the Indian mountain divisions,
Uh-huh.
the 12 Indian mountain divisions, have a strength of 1,20,000.
Yeah, they are the
They are,
strongest in the
they may not have the weapons equivalent to the US or Switzerland, but they are still a very formidable force.
that is coming
And that
from the
is the
Chinese.
lot
Yeah.
Chinese media, and that is exactly what the Chinese should realize, and that is the force which is deployed along the LAC.
Amazing message, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I'm your big fan on Twitter. I love your tweets and all. Thanks a lot, sir. We will meet again.
Thank you. Definitely. Thank you. Take care.
Jai Hind,
Bye.
sir.
Jai Hind.